opening round of the 2002 World 250cc Motocross Championship brings us to the Euro circuit of Valkenswaard, near Eindhoven in the southern part of Holland. The circuit has traditionally opened the World Championships now for the past decade. 1,750 metres of rough, choppy sand, rutted out, demanding and very, very difficult. The man who lost the World Championship in 2001, Frédéric Bollée of France, he sets fastest time in training with his new Rinaldi Yamaha team, ahead of the defending champion Michael PICHON, riding of course for the Suzuki Grand Prix team of Sylvain Gabors. The two Frenchmen then looking prepared to go head-to-head once more. Michael PICHON was the man who did it in style in 2001. Michael PICHON, 2001 World 250 champion. But what about James Dobb, the 30-year-old Brit who won the 2001 125cc World Championship like this? He is competing in the 250s this time round. World 125 champion James Dobb brings a full factory 250cc KTM into the 250cc World Championships for the first time in a long time, alongside Ulsterman Gordon Crockard, the reigning British Open champion. But initially, the story is about those two Frenchmen, number 1 Michael PICHON and number 7, after a torrid year in 2001, Frédéric Bollée on the Rinaldi Yamaha. And it's Bollée who makes pole position count. He gets away at the front with the Frenchman on the Suzuki close behind. Also, the Hondas of BEIRER and Josh Coppins are in the pursuing bunch. Teammates, of course, with Bernie Vismara Honda. The Frenchman, though, first and second, and James Dobb also making a terrific start and leaping through into 4th place as Colin Dugmore, the veteran 34-year-old South African on the Millennium KTM, crashes out on the first lap. Frédéric Bollée at the front, world champion of 1999 and 2000, but he won those titles on Honda. Can he make a comeback on Yamaha? He leads the way. Behind him, Michael PICHON. 3rd, Josh Coppins. 4th, James Dobb. 5th, Paul Cooper, former British Open champion, now riding for Cass Honda, ahead of BEIRER. Carl Nunn making a good start in 10th place on his Husqvarna, but a poor start for Gordon Crockard, down outside the top 15 on the 2nd of the factory KTMs, and Jason Higgs in 20th place on the Dixon's UK Yamaha. Dobb in 3rd place. He says he's going to be a challenger here in the 250cc Grand Prix Series, and already he's hanging in there with the two French world champions ahead of him. The Euro circuit here at Valkenswaard has been used since 1992 for world championships, as we see Damien Denil, something of a Belgian, also ran, finding himself in trouble here in this deep and choppy sand. Valkenswaard from 1992 has been the regular season opener for the 250cc Grand Prix Series. Michael PICHON taking a quick glance over his right shoulder to see his fellow world champion James Dobb right there behind him. So 3 world champs at the front. Bollée, former 250 champion, leads PICHON, the reigning 250 champion, and James Dobb, the reigning 125 king. These short, sharp drops and climbs, very, very testing in this sand, and PICHON once again taking a quick glance over his right shoulder to see if he's managed to break away yet. But Dobb's right there. PICHON, his tactics tend to be to make the early break, but right now he's letting the pace be set by Frédéric Bollée. He knows he's got 35 minutes plus 2 laps to overhaul his compatriot. 3 laps gone. Bollée, PICHON and Dobb are breaking clear at the front. BEIRER The wild and ragged German in 4th place has got past his teammate Josh Coppins. Cooperman has been pushed down into 6th place ahead of his Cass Honda teammate Jussi Vehviläinen. Carl Nunn still there in 10th. Gordon Crockard having progressed just a couple of places to 15th. And ahead of him, Yoshi Atsuta, the little Japanese reigning champion who's come over to try Grand Prix for the first time with the British-based Cass Honda team. This is the action at the front. DOBB, who returned from the States in 1997 after spending 4 years in exile. His best placing a 2nd place in a US 125 Supercross series. He's there in 3rd place. That's Pit BEIRER pursuing him hard and hitting everything hard, as Pit BEIRER always does. Why else do we call him the Pitbull? First made a name for himself way back in 1989 in the 125cc Motocross Grand Prix. Eventually finishing 5th in that series in 1994 with Suzuki, before moving into the 250s World Championships in 1995 and immediately finishing 5th. His battle with this man, Frederick Bolley, a truly memorable one in 1999. Any one of them could have been world champion right until the bitter end, but it took a muddy day in Geildorf in Germany to hand the advantage to Fred Bolley, and he duly took his first world championship. Pichon in pursuit, matching Fred Bolley's lap times. Has he got something in reserve? We got used to Pichon in 2001 somehow just having that little bit of a comfort zone and being able to increase the pressure when he needed to. James DOBB, he rarely had to increase the pressure when he needed to because he just completely dominated that 125 series, but suddenly BEIRER is with him. BEIRER on lap 6. The Vismara Honda has almost caught the factory KTM of James DOBB. DOBB, a different man since he joined KTM under the tutelage of Kurt Nickel, former 4 times World 500 runner-up. And look at the way he's scrapping now with Pit BEIRER. So DOBB, 30-year-old from Ripley in Derbyshire, full on with Pit BEIRER from southern Germany. Who's going to get the better of this one? BEIRER hits the roll-ons while he's up there in mid-air, because he's the one who's getting a face full of roost at the moment. He could do with getting past at the 3rd place. This Euro circuit offering plenty of lines for the guys to take. You'll notice BEIRER way over on the right, DOBB looking to the sharp left. BEIRER looking for those different lines because it means that he can see something other than DOBB's roost in this violent deep sand here at Valkenswaard, which has caught out Yoshi Atsuta, and an awful start to the Grand Prix career of the 24-year-old Japanese champion. He goes down and breaks a thigh, which will keep him out of racing, actually only for 3 months. He's that tough. He got back into racing within 3 months, but Yoshi Atsuta making the worst possible start to his Grand Prix career. So the resilient Japanese rider goes down, the yellow flags go out, and the leaders have to find a way round him. Pit BEIRER has taken advantage of that momentary lapse in James DOBB's concentration, and he breaks through into 3rd place. So BEIRER now through into 3rd place. That number 5 on his back indicates that last year was the first year for several seasons that he dropped out of the top 3 in the World 250 Championship. DOBB taking a stylish look over his shoulder in mid-air, but really he needs to be concentrated on what's ahead of him and whether he can find a way back past Pit BEIRER. BEIRER now in 3rd place, DOBB 4th. And Fred Bolley still in the lead on the Rinaldi Yamaha. The team, of course, owned by Michele Rinaldi, the 1984 125cc World Motocross champion. The team manager is his kid brother Carlo. Nine minutes plus 2 laps remaining. And Fred Bolley, Bolley almost cases the leap over the right-hand side, and that's the moment that Michael PICHON has been waiting for. Just that slight mistake by Frederick Bolley, and Pichon takes charge. Just under 9 minutes plus 2 laps remaining. Frank Schroyen, as ever, Pichon's mechanic, completely indefatigable. No sign of a change in his facial expression as Pichon and Bolley hit the lappers. Is there anything that Fred Bolley can do to get back? And he didn't make it past quick enough. And that's the risk, of course, when the back markers are there. You've got to get past them quickly. And Fred Bolley getting held up and losing vital ground. Once he gets away past, it might be too late. First he tries to go around the outside, then he cuts around the inside. Finally, the back marker realises he's there, but the damage is perhaps done. He looks around again thinking, are there any more of them? But no, these guys have burst well clear of the field. First and second well clear. PICHON, though, is now the leader. So easy to make just the smallest of mistakes in these grueling conditions. Here's James Dobb. He's now fourth, and he's feeling a bit of heat now from the second Vismara Honda, Josh Coppins, the Lizard, the New Zealander. He's in fifth place and closing the gap, but there's just 2 laps left for Jamie Dobb to hang on now. And Coppins getting a bit offline there. He didn't want to be that far out to the left. Josh Coppins trying to get to grips with James Dobb. And once again, a back marker for James Dobb to contend with. Can Josh Coppins close that gap? Dobb looks for a way past the Yamaha and finds it very, very quickly on that orange KTM. So the reigning 125 world champion currently in fourth place in the first 250cc Grand Prix that he's competed in since 1992, before he went off to the States. The last lap for Michael PICHON. The Frenchman they call Le Rocket looks as if he's going to keep his terrific record going in 250cc Grand Prix, carry on in 2002, where he left off in 2001 with a dominating opening race. And that the triumphant hand signal of a man who knows he's got it all done after 21 laps of the Euro circuit at Valkenswaard. Michael PICHON, the defending champion, takes the race win ahead of the deposed champion of 2001, Frédéric BOLLEY. Michael PICHON having extended his lead. BOLLEY crosses the line now, number 7 in second place, but it's a good start for Frédéric to the championship series. The 26-year-old Michael PICHON sets off on a well-deserved lap of honour. 10 times a champion of France, already a world champion, and of course, don't forget, twice a 125cc Supercross champ in the States. BEIRER crosses the line in third, Dobb fourth, fifth Josh Coppins, and sixth Jussi Vehviläinen, the 24-year-old Finn riding for the British CAS Honda team. James Dobb comes in to report to his team what's been going on. This man's got nothing to report but the fact that he's beaten them all out of sight, eventually with a 12-second advantage over Fred BOLLEY. Paul Cooper 7th, Kenneth Gunderson on the Motor X Kawasaki in 8th place.